Hi, I'm Jessica Lahr. On our first show in the month of June, we'll take a look back at the memorial service in Waterloo on Saturday, share our top local photos of the week, and we'll tell you what you can expect from the weather this weekend. But first, the most clicked on local headlines of the week at fingerlakes1.com. On Monday, small fireworks became legal to purchase in New York State. Last November, Governor Cuomo signed a bill allowing the sale of novelty fireworks into law, but local county governments had to opt into that law. At the moment, the only Finger Lakes area county to have opted in is Yates County. Last Friday, emergency crews were called to Ponderosa in Geneva after a vehicle crashed into the side of the restaurant at the corner of Routes 5 and 20 and Preemption Road. There were only minor injuries and minor damage to both the vehicle and the building. It's been almost 1 year since a similar crash occurred across the street from Ponderosa at the Geneva Denny's, where 6 were injured on June 11th of 2014. Police arrested 3 juveniles in the village of Skaneateles early Tuesday morning who were in possession of a vehicle allegedly stolen from the city of Syracuse. A Skaneateles police officer was on routine patrol when he attempted to stop the vehicle for speeding on West Genesee Street in the village. The vehicle didn't pull over and turned onto State Street before entering a driveway. Then 3 individuals jumped out and ran. New York State Police and the Onondaga County Sheriff's Department assisted in taking 3 of the occupants into custody, and it was determined that the vehicle was reported stolen in Syracuse. Police believe these individuals could also be involved in the May 26th theft of 2 vehicles from the parking lot of the Skaneateles YMCA. After arresting 44 people on a variety of drug charges at a music festival in Sterling, police described the event as an open-air market for drugs. They say drugs were displayed on tables, carried on trays for sale and distribution, and advertised with signs. Undercover officers reportedly made 46 buys. Police say they recovered $40,000 in cash and tens of thousands of dollars worth of drugs. Read more on all these stories and hundreds more from over 40 local sources online at fingerlakes1.com. After a mostly dry month of May, the Finger Lakes received about a month's worth of rain between Sunday and Monday, along with a dramatic temperature drop. Luckily, things are on the rebound and the weekend is looking quite pleasant. After a ton of sun and temperatures in the mid-70s on Wednesday and Thursday, the threat of rain returns on Friday with a 40% chance of scattered thunderstorms along with a daytime high of almost 80 degrees. That will clear the way for partly sunny skies throughout the rest of the weekend with a high on Saturday of 72 and a high on Sunday near 76. For up-to-the-minute weather information, radar images, and local forecast, visit our local weather center at fingerlakes1.com or on the fingerlakes1.com Android or iPhone app. When we come back, a video recap of the memorial service held Saturday in Waterloo, the full slate of weekend events, and we'll share some great local photos from around the Finger Lakes this week. I'll be back in 60 seconds.
So many sights to see on the internet, but for everything local, there's one place you can get it. At fingerlakes1.com. Come on over to fingerlakes1.com. Make us your homepage. News, weather, sports, and fun. Log on to Finger Lakes One.
Local news from over 40 sources, custom local weather, over 10 hours of live broadcasts and podcasts every week on your computer, tablet, television, or smartphone. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
www.fingerlakes1.com. Come on and join the fun. Log on to Finger Lakes One.
www.fingerlakes1.com.
The early week rain did offer some great photo opportunities, and area photographers captured some great shots from across the region over the past few days. Like this one from Rochelle Burkholder, who captured raindrops clinging to flower petals in Seneca County after the rain ended. Our own Tara Irway photographed the Upper Falls at Taganic Falls State Park between showers on Sunday afternoon. The air was damp and misty on Sunday, making for a tranquil, seemingly calm ending to the weekend as seen here in Enfield by Helene Schmidt. Rachel Burkholder took a hike through Great Gully in Union Springs after the rain and captured some spectacular shots that we've highlighted in this short video. Wow, those were some breathtaking scenes that we Finger Lakes residents sometimes take for granted. There is world-class beauty right here in our own backyard. Great job, Rachel. You can check out more recent local photos by clicking on the Photos link at the top of our homepage or by tapping the Photos tab on our app. While the annual Celebrate Commemorate Memorial Day festivities in Waterloo took place 2 weekends ago, a special memorial ceremony always takes place on the official Memorial Day, which was Saturday. Unfortunately, the threat of thunderstorms canceled the parade, but Dave Dupre of Dupre Video Productions sent us some great footage of some of the ceremony held at St. Mary's and Maple Grove Cemetery.
Give you thanks for all your servants who have laid down their lives in the service of our country. Unite all people of this nation in a holy purpose to defend the freedom and brotherhood for which they lived and died. We ask that the liberty they bequeathed unto us may be passed on to our children and our children's children. Let there be no doubt about the valor of the veterans who rest in our nation's cemeteries, at home and abroad. Please help in the safe return of any soldiers who are POWs, and all that of our soldiers who are missing in action be accounted for and returned home to their and be properly honored. Finally, Lord, we ask that you look over our troops who even now guard the gates of freedom. We thank you for all our blessings and ask you to watch over the men and women we come to honor here this morning. In your great and holy name we pray. Amen.
Ready. Aim. Fire. Aim. Fire. Aim. Fire. Reset. Hose.
Next year will mark the 150th anniversary of the first Memorial Day here in Waterloo. In local theaters this weekend, the Entourage movie hits local theaters on Friday night along with San Andreas, Pitch Perfect 2, and Tomorrowland. Also playing in cinemas around the area, the romantic comedy Aloha, the new Melissa McCarthy comedy Spy, and horror films Insidious Chapter 3 and Poltergeist. For movie times at theaters close to you, click on Movie Times at our homepage or on the FingerLakes1.com app. Next, a quick rundown of what's happening around the Finger Lakes this weekend. The annual Sulphur Springs Festival kicks off on Friday and continues through Saturday in Clifton Springs. Things get underway on Friday with a beer and wine crawl from 5 to 8 p.m., along with live music from the Flint Creek Band. The finale of the festival is Saturday evening as a parade winds its way through town starting at 6 p.m. You can access the full schedule of events at sulphurspringsfestival.com or look for it under our hot links at our homepage. Also happening this weekend, it's pub night on the brew deck at Wagner Vineyards in Lodi on Friday, and also on Friday night there will be live music at Hazlitt Winery in Hector, and the second annual I've Gone Gewürz event is happening at Keuka Springs Winery in Penyan. Raspberry meets chocolate at Hosmer Winery in Ovid for a unique dessert and wine pairing event on Saturday afternoon. On Sunday, it's a piazza party at the Lockland Estate in Geneva that will feature live music, an actor portraying Elizabeth Cady Stanton, and a presentation by Jill Tejan, CEO of the National Women's Hall of Fame. And if you see hundreds of people swimming in Keuka Lake early Sunday morning, that would be the start of the Keuka Triathlon to benefit the Arts Center of Yates County. Check out more details on these events and many more by visiting our community calendar. If you missed it on FingerLakes1.tv this week, on Monday morning, Herald Webber interviewed Dr. Kingsley Kabari of Seneca Falls, who shared his amazing journey from Nigeria to Seneca Falls.
Explain to our viewers this morning, for a guy that left that country and that area of Africa and came to America, the rest speaks for itself. But talk a little bit about what it was like in Nigeria for our viewers to get an understanding. You mentioned there was quite a couple of major issues there, the government and Shell Oil. Talk a little bit about that situation for us.
Okay, I am from the Niger Delta area of Nigeria, and we are actually very rich in crude oil, and Shell have been drilling since 1958, from that part of the country. And in early 1990, a gentleman by the name Kensara Winwa led the Ogoni people, which is my tribe, and at that time we were about 500,000 in population. So we were to protest against the Nigerian government for the injustice they were doing to my people, and also protesting against Shell, because Shell was working with the Nigerian government, and they destroy the environment. And my ethnic group, the Ogonis, we live by fishing, farming, and hunting, and our environment were destroyed by the air pollution, with the oil pollution.
Right.
So we decided to, and there was no compensation being done by the government, not by Shell, and they neglected their facilities, oil spill, and everything was destroyed, and our livelihood, which was fishing, farming, and hunting, were all threatened. Our farms were taken over. So when we protested against the government, and they sent soldiers to suppress the uprising, as a result, the gentleman Kensara Winwa, he was arrested, charged with murder, which he never committed, and he was hanged with 9 others top activists.
Oh, wow.
Yes. My father, who was an active member of the group, which is called MOSAP, Movement for the Survival of the Ogoni People, escaped with others. There were several thousand of us escaped to the nearby country as refugees, as political refugees, pretty much. And we were there for almost 2 years before we were resettled to America in September 1998.
How did you get to America? Did you get on a boat? Did you fly out of there? How did you actually get over here?
Okay. Well, the American government heard our story.
Okay.
And what we had to go through, and they wanted to give us a chance, a new beginning. So they came and they asked us. We went through a series of interviews by the immigration, and they
Okay.
said, "How would you like to resettle to America? And we'll give you a new start."
Very good.
So when they came, and this was a perfect opportunity, we accepted it. And September 13, 1998, we were taken in by the U.S. government. We flew here and arrived in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Wow.
Yes.
Manchester, New Hampshire.
Yes.
So every time you hear Manchester, New Hampshire, it brings back great memories.
Great memories.
Now, they say, being an American or coming to America, you mentioned to me, opportunity knocks.
Yes.
If you want to work hard,
Yes.
you can make it here.
Yes, you can.
And you are a proven example of that.
Yes.
Not knowing your education when you were in Nigeria, I would assume you weren't getting the greatest education.
I did not have any education when I was in Nigeria.
Right. So when you came to America, you started scratch with the education.
Yes, I started in high school,
That's amazing.
barely knowing how to read, write or read. So, and I struggled a lot through high school
Right.
because I couldn't do any of the coursework, and I came in when I was 15.
Wow.
And they have to put me in high school, and I didn't know what was going on. I was in an English as a second language class, trying to learn the language, trying to learn the culture, and I have to keep up, with the grades so I can graduate with the rest of my peers.
Well, your resume speaks highly of you going to various colleges. Talk a little about how you got into college with a limited education.
Well, when I graduated from high school, my GPA was around 2.2.
2.2?
2.2.
On a scale of 1 to 4?
Yes.
Okay.
2.2.
Okay.
And no school will accept me because my GPA was poor.
Sure.
My SAT was bad. It was around 600
Okay.
because I didn't know what was going on. I was way behind.
Okay.
And I went to an art school in Boston, the Art Institute of Boston. And the reason they accepted me because my art skills were pretty good, but my academic was poor. So they accepted me based on the fact that I'll be a good art student. So I was there. I didn't do art classes. I did well, but as far as any other classes like English or math that I had to take as part of my curriculum, I didn't excel at all. So I was it was a big struggle. I ended up dropping out. This was 2003.
Wow.
And I was working 4 jobs as of 2004. As a carpet cleaner, I was volunteering at YMCA. I was doing cleaning services. I was doing different kind
Trying
of
to pick
odd
up
jobs.
some money.
Trying to pick up some money because things were rough, and I felt like I hit a dead end. School didn't work out. I really don't have any training in anything, so it was a dead end. Yeah. So I spent more time at the YMCA at that time, and that's when I met my mentor, Tom Lowry, who actually took me in as a son, and we sat down, and he wanted to help me out. And they say, "What can I do to help you?" Then I was very shy.
Sure.
I didn't say much because I didn't speak the language very well.
Right.
Yeah. And he lectured me. He helped me out. We finally got into after months of trying very hard, I finally got into Plymouth State University, where I went for my undergrad, and I finished. I graduated with honors, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And from that point on?
From after I graduated from Plymouth State, I moved to Georgia, and I worked as a personal trainer there. I was teaching classes. I was doing personal training. I was doing corporate fitness. And I did that for about 2 years. After that, I decided to, I wanted to go back to school and further my education. And I was debating between physical therapy or chiropractic care. And I ended up picking chiropractic because it falls in line with what I actually wanted to do, which is more of an alternative medicine, way of helping people without the use of drugs.
Well, I interested to get your point on how you got in.
Check out all of this week's episodes at FingerLakes1.tv or on the Finger Lakes One TV tab on our app. All our audio programming is also streaming in rotation on Finger Lakes One Radio. Be sure to check out the crew from the Crash Course podcast who will be live streaming the Kings of Old School Demolition Derby from Whitney Point, New York on Saturday, live on FingerLakes1.tv. Thanks for joining me for another edition of FLX Weekly. I'll be back next Wednesday afternoon. For FingerLakes1.com, I'm Jessica Lahr. Enjoy your first full weekend of June, everyone.